Well, good morning and welcome to Fans Banter. Yeah, it was a poor night for our Scottish friends last night as they lose 3-0 to a Brazil team. And now they're in a perilous position, to be quite honest with you. Are they going home or are they going to be staying at the World Cup? They had a chance to go through to the next round for the first time, the knockout stages for the first time in their football history. But yeah, they blew it themselves, to be quite honest with you. I thought their approach was quite naive against Brazil. I thought they should have probably eased themselves into the game and probably tried to get to half-time at 0-0. But Scotland looked like they needed to win the game, which they didn't. They just needed a point to be able to go through. And they did attack Brazil quite early on, and they were quite expansive and open in the way that they played, which, you know, left to their own downfall. They left too much space in the middle of the park for Brazil to be able to counter-attack them. They were too slow in their thoughts at the back, to be quite honest with you, which allowed Brazil to be able to nick the ball off the centre halves a couple of times and to score 2 goals. I do think they were lucky in the fact that the second goal was disallowed that Vinicius Junior scored. I don't think that was a free kick. I think he got his foot in front of the defender. The defender kicks him and falls over. So I do think they were lucky in that aspect. They could have been down 2-0 early. They did sort of ease themselves back into it after they conceded the first goal, but nothing really overly convincing, to be quite honest. And then right at the death of half-time, Brazil get the goal that really killed off Scotland's chances of making it into the second round, the knockout stages, on their own strength. They now have to wait and to see how the cards fall in other groups to see if they will actually be going home or whether they will be staying in America for the World Cup. And I do think the third goal is yeah, that's probably going to be a killer, to be quite honest, unless a lot of results go their way to let them be able to progress as one of the 8 best placed, third place teams. Yeah, it's getting complicated, isn't it? Yeah, but Scotland, yeah, I thought they were naive in the way they approached the game. I do think they should have sort of tried to get to half time at 0-0. Then halfway through the second half, just keeping things really, really, really tight. Maybe wait for the last 20 minutes, and then if they decided they wanted to have a go at Brazil, well, then they probably should have done it then. But to go right from the start, yeah, I think that was kind of a naive approach from Scotland. So where does that leave Scotland now? Well, the players themselves, they're going to have to keep training as if they are through to the next round. That's going to be kind of hard because I'm sure they're down today, not being able to secure it on their own strength. But they're going to have to wait for the rest of the groups to finish, and they're going to be cheering for some strange teams, I would imagine, to help them get through to the next stage of the competition. And that's probably going to be a hard wait. The Scottish fans, they're going to go home, tail between the legs, feeling a bit down maybe. And then they're going to have to wait for travel arrangements to see where they end up going, whether it's going to be Mexico, whether it's going to be Los Angeles, New York. Who knows where they're going to be playing and if they're going to be playing. But just a word on the Brazil team. They're not a great team, are they? And I do think Scotland helped Brazil with the mistakes that they made to be able to get into the game and to sort of to crush the Scottish hopes of getting through to the knockout stages. Yeah, not a great Brazil team, to be quite honest with you. During the match, or maybe before the match, well, throughout the whole match, the camera was panning to previous Brazilian players that had played for Brazil in previous World Cups, and I have to say the players that they showed were better than every other single player on the Brazilian team. Yeah, Brazil have deteriorated quite a lot. Where's the exciting football? Where's the samba spirit gone? Because it looked like it could have been Denmark playing Scotland, to be quite honest with you. Very little flair, very little individual ability, to be quite honest. More of a team effort, more of a grinding out results type of thing. But that's why they hired a European coach, to be quite honest with you, because they figured that over previous World Cups that Brazil, when it got to the knockout stages, they've lost to European teams, and they're kind of figuring, well, that's the reason, we're just not European enough to be able to win the World Cup. And that's, when did that ever enter into the head of Brazilian football, that they're just not European enough to win the World Cup? They won the World Cup, all their previous World Cups, on flair and excitement and individual brilliance. Yeah, but now they've gone more down and I noticed in the last few World Cups, to be quite honest with you, they've gone down the Brazilian route of trying to be more of a team and try to get over the line that way. And Ancelotti, by the way, has received a little bit of stick from Brazil because they don't think they need that type of manager. They don't believe they need a European manager to be able to manage the exciting samba football of Brazil. But quite frankly, that's been gone for quite a long time now. So yeah, Scotland, they have to wait, and it's going to be an awkward way for them. Will they get through to the next round? Look, you're going to have to get out your pen and your paper and your rulers, and you're going to have to go back to school and remember your mathematics or arithmetic if you're older. But yeah, so Scotland, a poor performance, a poor result. The third goal could be the actual nail in the coffin for Scotland, and the architects of their own downfall. And that's Fans Banter.